This evening, President David Granger is out of the country on an official visit to the United Kingdom. The National Housing Expo is set for next month, and Perseverance on the east bank of Demerara is named as the venue. Occupational health and safety is everybody's business, says the National Advisory Council on Occupational Safety and Health. Mixed martial arts history was made in Guyana last night at the Giftland Mall on a card that also featured boxing. In the region, the number of persons killed in Venezuela has rocketed to 20 as protests continued against the Nicolas Maduro government for new elections. And internationally, the life of a 4-year-old girl is intact today thanks to the heroics of an Arkansas volunteer firefighter.
From Safe TV headquarters in South Rival Gardens, this is Safe TV Headline News with George Gonzalez.
Headline News is now being streamed live on our YouTube channel as well as our website safetvguyana.com. Join us. President David Granger has left the country for the United Kingdom for the rest of the week on an official visit there. The President will meet Queen Elizabeth at Windsor Castle on Wednesday as part of the visit. Andrew Weeks tells us more.
In a statement from the Ministry of the Presidency, it says that President David Granger will also attend the Caribbean Council's annual reception at the House of Lords. He will deliver an address at the reception, which will be held on Tuesday evening. The annual reception provides an opportunity for British members of Parliament, the diplomatic community, members of the UK Civil Service, non-governmental organizations, members of the Caribbean diaspora, and businesses invested in or interested in investing in the Caribbean region to network with a view to supporting the region's economic development. President David Granger is accompanied on the visit by Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Carl Greenidge. The team will also meet with members of the UK government, the British business community, and Guyanese diaspora in London during the official visit. It has been a regular occurrence by the leader of this country to suddenly leave the jurisdiction without notifying the national media in advance. The Presidential Media Corps was flagged before by a post-cabinet media briefing when it was asked by the Minister of State, Joseph Harmon, to have the press be informed in advance of the President's state visit to foreign nations. The last time President Granger left these shores unannounced was when he paid a state visit to the Bahamas. The press was only informed the same day he left for the visit. On Sunday, President David Granger left Guyana with the national media only learning of his departure on the evening of the said day. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thank you, Andrew. Perseverance on the east bank of Demerara is the site for next month's National Housing Expo. George Gonzalez toured the site and filed this report.
The Ministry of Communities last year announced the discontinuation of the wholesale allocation of housing lots in favor of offering prefabricated homes. 9 weeks ago, the Ministry of Communities began construction of the one-flat homes and duplexes at Perseverance. Now, there's only a few short weeks left until next month's Housing Expo, and already one model home is completely finished.
Yeah, the low, which is 600 square feet, we have the moderate income, 900 square feet, and the 1100 square feet, we call the middle income buildings. Immediately to my left here, this is the exhibitor's version of what a moderate income building is going to look like. This is 900 square feet, it's 3 bedrooms. The first 5, again the second one here also, I mean beautiful. That's another 900 square feet for a moderate income earner.
While prices for the homes have not been set, the Ministry of Communities assures the public that the homes will be reasonably priced.
For us at CH&PA, the duplexes that you would have looked at earlier, I can assure you that price is affordable, because one of the major factor that influenced the whole housing solution in terms of the construction of unit, it was affordability. And I want to assure the citizen of this country that the price will be, or the price is affordable.
Works are being done by a foreign construction firm, TriStar, the Ministry of Communities, and several local contractors. According to the project manager, it was important to give smaller contractors the opportunity to show their work.
So again, it's an opportunity for the small guys to build capacity. And this is very important, right? It is extremely important because otherwise, none of these guys here that is being participating right now, that giving you this high level quality of work that we have, would have been able to do anything. All right, so it's something I really embrace.
One of the local contractors Dazzle speaks of is DC Construction and Landscape. The company is headed by the brother of slain political activist Courtney Crum Ewing. He was honored to be a part of an effort that truly allows him to showcase his talent.
Well, as you can see, I'm doing the concrete duplex on stilts, and we're going good so far. Everything is going smoothly.
You ever applied before for contracts with government?
Yeah, I had my company first as paintings under the previous government, whereby I would have applied for work with the army doing the barracks and so, which nothing never really materialized. So now I bring it as a DC construction and landscaping. So since then I've been getting jobs various places, ministries and so on.
Crum Ewing has 17 men working under his employ. Despite DC Construction and Landscaping being in operation for years, he found it very difficult to find work under the previous administration. If one of the homes you've seen today has caught your eye, CEO of the Housing Project explains how you can get one.
It's important that you get an application at CHNP, and that is the first thing. Thereafter, you will approach the financial institution, and once you're qualified for a mortgage, of course, you can buy it. Or if you get your money in your pocket, you can buy it also.
This has been George Gonzalez for Channel 2 Headline News.
Two siblings from the Working Rust area were charged for cocaine possession and remanded to prison today, even as their mother remains on the run over the same charge. 23-year-old Delon Bob Semple and his 21-year-old sister Tamika Bob Semple found themselves before the court this morning and were both slapped with possession of cocaine for the purpose of trafficking. They both pleaded not guilty. The 171 grams of the illegal substance was found by the police during a raid on the family's house. The cocaine was found stashed beneath a floorboard. The mother of the two siblings raced away from the scene as the police investigators were conducting searches. She has not been located since. But the attorney for the brother and sister, Adrian Thompson, told the court a different story. He said it was the mother who was nabbed with the cocaine and dropped it and departed from the scene, leaving her two adult children behind. His application for bail was denied even after he complained that the two suffered from various illnesses and needed attention on a regular basis. The case will come up again in early May. Coming up on Headline News after the break, a bit of occupational safety and health from NACOSH and mixed martial arts history made in Guyana on Sunday night.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
The Guyana Hemp Association presents
Its inaugural Hemp Expo 2017. At the Square of the Revolution, Coffee. The two-day event begins from Thursday, April 20th to the 21st. Come and be educated about hemp and the 250 other herbs of Guyana.
There will also be music, food, drinks, cultural events, and an exposition of a variety of hemp products locally and internationally. Be educated by presentations from
Dr. Simpson De Silva,
Dr. Terrain Durga,
Representatives from NARI, a Canadian representative, one of the largest hemp producers in the world.
And special guests from the government and opposition. Be uplifted by our interfaith service and learn of the many cures and economic benefits hemp has to offer.
The celebration starts from the Square of the Revolution Coffee on Thursday, April 20th from 4:20 p.m. to midnight and Friday 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
It's the Guyana Hemp Expo 2017 at the
Coffee Square, sponsored by the Guyana Hemp Association.
Admission is free.
Don't you dare miss it.
It's always fresh, tasty, enticing, and the best in town, served hot from our experienced chefs. Come and enjoy our daily meals with a wide and delicious menu to choose from, also a wide variety of pastries and dessert. We can also host your luncheons, cocktails, parties, and formal gathering. For reservation, call 225-1730, 225-0038, and delivery 225-0195 or 225-0159. The new thriving Chinese restaurant, 32 Main Street, Georgetown.
Let's get it on. Total U Plus is introducing the bridal collection. We sell bridal gowns with over 150 styles to choose from, including bridal gowns for Muslim brides. We also sell bride and bridesmaid gloves, tiaras, petals, flower girl baskets, bridal pins, just married signs for vehicles, guest books and pens, aisle runners, veils, table placement holders, garters. Yes, the complete collection. Come see our bridal display in store. Total U Plus Bridal Collection, Froggity's Mall, booth number 16. Let's get it on.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Occupational safety and health is everybody's business, according to Shalindra Rai, a member of the National Advisory Council on Occupational Safety and Health, NACOSH. Andrew Wicks reports why Mr. Rai made that statement at the symposium in recognition of Occupational Safety and Health Month 2017.
For the month of April, Guyana is joining the rest of the world in observing occupational safety and health. But when it comes to observing OSH in the workplace, many companies are guilty of it. Not just employers, but employees.
Occupational safety and health, we cannot overemphasize the importance of occupational safety and health, since it is part of our everyday life. You just think about it, traveling from your workplace to get here this morning for this symposium, we had to take that into consideration. Even being at home, in your kitchen or wherever, using any electrical appliances or whatever the case may be, we all have to take occupational safety and health into consideration.
That's Mr. Shalindra Rai, and member and officer of the NACOSH. Rai reiterated the point that occupational health and safety is everybody's business, especially in the workplace.
I'm saying that against the backdrop that let us look at it from the employer's perspective. As an employer, they're required to comply with the law, the Occupational Safety and Health Act, right? You're also required to ensure that you provide a safe and comfortable work environment for your employees. You are also required to provide your employees with the relevant safety gears and equipment to carry out their respective duties. In addition to that, you are also required to address any nonconformities that may arise from occupational safety and health inspections. So as an employer, you have a number of responsibilities there.
Rice said employees also have a role to play as well.
On the other hand, as an employee, you also have certain responsibility as well. Because as an employee, you need to be committed to the process. Those of you who have occupational safety and health internal committees would know that the employees is part of the committee. They're required to conduct inspections because the employer don't conduct inspections. The employees that conduct the inspections, and they submit the report to the employer, and then the employer needs to take action to deal with that. The employees themselves also need to ensure that they utilize or wear the respective safety gears in the execution of their duties in order to maintain a safe work environment. So as you could see, it is everybody's business, the employer business as well as the employee business as it relates to safety and health.
A national policy on occupational health and safety is also in the works, and that is being collaborated with the Ministry of Social Protection and NACOSH, says Roy.
Only the beginning of this year, we had a workshop on the development of a national policy on occupational safety and health. And that policy is currently being finalized. In addition to that, a number of MOUs were signed between the Ministry of Social Protection and the various agencies as it relates to technical assistance in terms of developing occupational safety and health system in the workplaces. In addition to that, the Bureau of Standards, we have been working with the ministry in terms of the development of standards in the different areas. As we speak here, we have some existing standards that it relates to safety gears and so forth. But there are a number of additional standards that need to be developed in relation to safety gears and products.
The National Advisory Council on Occupational Safety and Health is calling on workplace to put occupational safety and health in place or contact the relevant agency for assistance. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Thanks again, Andrew. Last night, sporting history in Guyana was made on the tarmac at Giffland Mall. The locked and loaded fight card featured the first professional mixed martial arts match in Guyana. George Gonzalez was there and has the details.
Originally, the Guyana Boxing Board of Control and the management of Giffland Mall had planned the locked and loaded event for Sunday, April 9th. The fight card would have only featured boxing, but it was pushed back to the 23rd of April as to include mixed martial arts to the night. The event was hosted by Giffland Mall in conjunction with the Guyana Boxing Board of Control, Fight Central, and Rough and Ready Trinidad MMA. The first half of the night featured several professional and amateur boxing matches ranging from 3 to 10 rounds and featuring fighters from Trinidad, Guyana, and Barbados. The MMA segment of the event also featured several professional and amateur bouts. CEO of MMA Trinidad, Jason Frazier, explained that this will be the first of many fights on the mall tarmac.
We hope that when we return, hopefully in July, that we can have a Guyana versus the rest. We are very happy to be here, and there will be much more fights in the future. This is just the beginning.
All but one of the Guyanese fighters pulled out of the match at the last minute. The reason for their no-show was not disclosed by the fight organizers, but one of the fighters who dropped out cited contractual issues as the main reason for the group's absence. This has been George Gonzalez for Channel 2 Headline News.
We heard you, George. The Adoption Board has a new board of directors. Minister of State Joseph Harmon on Thursday revealed that Cabinet has approved the board, which will be chaired by Attorney-at-Law James Bond. Andrew Weeks reports.
The persons who were appointed to that board are Mr. James Bond, the chairman, Mr. Jeffrey Sankis, Mr. Kashir Khan, Mrs. Clonel Samuels Boston, Mrs. Punila Lachman, Mrs. Patricia Gray, and a representative from the parliamentary opposition.
Minister of State and Cabinet Secretary Joseph Harmon. According to Minister Harmon, the new adoption board will have a life of 1 year. The board processes monthly reviews between 12 and 16 adoption applications. It also has to ensure that a child has not attained his or her 18th birthday during the adoption review process, which takes about 7 months, since according to the law, an 18-year-old cannot be adopted. Persons whose application to adopt are rejected, but they are usually allowed to appeal. According to the GINA report, the appeal is because, in many cases, additional new information which was not available before surfaces, or there might have been a misunderstanding of the process. Andrew Weeks, Channel 2, Headline News.
Still ahead, the state of the protests in Venezuela with 20 lives being lost and that act of heroics by the Arkansas volunteer firefighter.
Sometimes there's just too much information to keep up with when you're pregnant. What you should and should not eat, what kind of exercise is right for you, how to handle mood changes, even how to determine when it's time for delivery.
Don't let your pregnancy be a burden. Watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2 every weekday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Now you can know all you need to know from conception to delivery when you watch The Baby Story on Safe TV Channel 2.
Need a ride around town and beyond? Look no further than Oasis Ride Taxi Service. With affordable prices and some of the best drivers in the business, we've been delivering prompt and reliable service to Guyana for over 16 years. We also offer tours, chauffeur service, and even car rentals. You can call us at 231-5554 or 225-5496. For deals, specials, and more information, find our page on Facebook. Oasis Ride Taxi Service. Let's go. The Guyana Hemp Association presents its inaugural Hemp Expo 2017.
At the Square of the Revolution, Coffee, the two-day event begins from Thursday, April 20th to the 21st. Come and be educated about hemp and the 250 other herbs of Guyana.
There will also be music, food, drinks, cultural events, and an exposition of a variety of hemp products locally and internationally. Be educated by presentations from
Dr. Simpson De Silva,
Dr. Terrain Durga,
representatives from NARI, a Canadian representative, one of the largest hemp producers in the world,
and special guests from the government and opposition. Be uplifted by our interfaith service and learn of the many cures and economic benefits hemp has to offer.
The celebration starts from the Square of the Revolution Coffee on Thursday, April 20th from 4:20 p.m. to midnight, and Friday 10 a.m. to 10 p.m.
It's the Guyana Hemp Expo 2017 at the
Coffee Square, sponsored by the Guyana Hemp Association.
Admission is free.
Don't you dare miss it.
Seems like people will try just about anything to lose weight these days. But nothing works better than proper dieting and exercise. So if you're guilty of eating the wrong foods, not finding time to exercise, or can't afford a gym, join Safe TV Channel 2 for Body and Spirit. Aerobics workout with Dick Nunez.
Hello, I'm Dick Nunez. Welcome to Body and Spirit Aerobics.
Weekday mornings from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Don't hesitate. Act now, because your greatest wealth is your health.
Now opened, the new thriving Chinese restaurant Providence location. Perfect for large events, exquisite menus featuring traditional Korean, Chinese and Western cuisine, elegant grand dining room and seats for over 500 persons. Also additional seating on the upper flat, luxurious VIP rooms and an elevator for your comfort. The new thriving Chinese restaurant second location above Massey Supermarket, Amazonian Mall, Providence. For reservation call 623-4097 or 657-9067.
On Sunday, the Linden Town Week got started and will run through to May 1 as residents showcase their achievements, make known the town's history, and give recognition to its famous and respected residents. The Town Week is to be bigger and better than ever as it coincides with celebrations for the town's 47 years of existence. Lindeners are going to be treated to 9 days of non-stop festivities, including educational, cultural, and sports activities. These genres of activities will cater to a wide age range so that from the youngest to the oldest can find something that caters to their needs. Chief among the activities will be the ever-popular Big and Bold pageant, the Wismer Big Lime, and the Vibes Regional All Black, set for April 26, 28, and 30 respectively. This year, Vibes will also be collaborating with the Region 10 Tourism Development Association to host river tours along Linden's Heritage Trail. Since its commencement 21 years ago, the celebrations of the town of Linden have always been the time of the year to look forward to. LTW 2017 was launched under the theme Reflect, Refocus, Moving Forward with Unity and Strength for Our Community's Development. In news from the region now, anti-government protesters in Venezuela had planned a day of action today after 20 people were killed in violence last week. They're demanding that President Nicolas Maduro call an election amid an economic crisis. As the country struggles with shortages, thousands of residents cross over the border to Colombia to buy diapers, food, and medicine. Al Jazeera's Teresa Bo reports from Colombia.
Andreina Pereira tries to come to Colombia from over the border in Venezuela every few weeks to buy basic products. She travels for 13 hours to buy some food and diapers for her child.
Horrible. Malísima. The situation is horrible. We can't find what we need, and if we do, we can't afford it. We have to wait in line for hours, and then when they run out, you wasted the whole day. We can't even eat like we used to.
She's not carrying much money, around $20 to buy what she needs for the days to come. In Venezuela these days, there are shortages of almost everything. The government cannot pay to import goods because it's strapped for cash after a drop in oil prices and heavy government spending.
What's happening on this bridge is an example of the enormous economic crisis in Venezuela right now, with thousands of people coming from Venezuela to Colombia to buy diapers, food, and medicine. They claim that this is the only way they have to cover some of their basic needs.
Those coming here need to get a good exchange rate. On that will depend how much they can take back. Orlando Churon claims he's changing money to try to get medicines for his wife.
My wife has cancer. I come from Valencia and there are no medicines for cancer there. This is chaos. We are desperate and there's a lot of people like me.
For weeks, Venezuelans have been taking to the streets to demand elections and respect for Venezuelans' institutions after the government stripped the opposition-controlled Congress of its last powers. Even though the decision was reversed, many in the country say they have had enough. The Venezuelan government says the protests are organized by the extreme right, who is trying to destroy Hugo Chávez's socialist revolution. On Saturday, Nicolás Maduro published this video, where he said he's getting ready for the victories to come. Many believe the government may be considering to call for long-delayed local elections.
We are working so that the dialogue with the Vatican continues with the international community to control the violence from mercenary groups hired to create chaos, criminal gangs that want to practice terrorism. In Venezuela, there is peace.
Most of those coming here have lost faith in the government's ability to improve their lives. In the meantime, they claim, they have to keep on going and trying to take back as much as they can. Teresabo, Al Jazeera, Cúcuta, Colombia.
And internationally, an Arkansas volunteer firefighter carried a 4-year-old girl out of traffic after she fell out of the back door of a bus. Here is CNN with the report.
A truly heroic rescue of a small child falling out of a moving vehicle in Arkansas, and it's all captured on video. We do warn you, though, the images are disturbing. You're looking at still images right now of a 4-year-old girl that fell out of that moving vehicle there. And then there was a firefighter who saw this happen, ran to the child's rescue, as you see right there in these still images, picks up the child. But we want to also now show you the video as it happened, all caught on a dash cam video. Now you see there the child falling out of that vehicle, and you see this firefighter coming to the child's rescue. She's limp there as he picks her up, and you can see the other person just aghast as it happened. That firefighter, Ryan Ciampoli, is joining me now for this CNN exclusive interview. Ryan, amazing moment, how you had the wherewithal to just jump into action. I realize you're a firefighter and saving lives is what you do, but again, explain for me what you saw as it was happening and what your instincts told you.
It was just unbelievable. You know, one minute I'm just driving down the road, and the next minute I see a little girl swing open the door on this church bus and fall to the highway. It was heartbreaking, but instantly, you know, I used my EMS training and firefighter training and assessed the scene as best as I could. I realized that it wasn't a good place for her laying there. You know, typically, you know, in EMS, we're not supposed to move the patient unless they're in a pretty dangerous situation. And because she was on a state highway there in Harrison, Arkansas, it was grounds to get her out of there. I couldn't stand for her to get hit by a car or someone hit us both, you know. And so I immediately got out of my car. I realized the pavement was going to be hot because it was like 80 degrees that day. And so I, as soon as I ran over to her and approached her, she was unconscious at first, but then she started to move her arm and kind of look up at me. And so I picked her up as carefully as I could and held her in my arms and kind of assessed, you know, her little body to see what kind of damages had been done from the fall.
And that's Channel 2's Headline News for this Monday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to find Channel 2 Headline News on Facebook, YouTube, and SafeGuyana.com. You can also tune in at 6:30 tomorrow morning for a rebroadcast. Until then, I'm Basil Bradshaw signing out from this newscast.